Good morning. Today, I want to share with you my thoughts on the movie A Quiet Place. So, just saw the movie A Quiet Place. Really, really wonderful. Major spoiler alerts coming up, so if you haven't seen it and want to check it out, don't watch the rest of this video if you don't want to hear about what happens in the movie. So here's the basic setup. An asteroid crashes into planet Earth with these flesh-devouring beasts that move very fast, and we can't stop them with our weapons. And though they're blind, they're extremely sound sensitive. So the movie starts, we're about 80 days post-asteroid, and much of the human race has been gobbled up by these monsters. And the small groups of human beings that have survived have done so simply by staying quiet. If you don't make any sound, they don't eat you. So that's the setup. And we find this wonderful family with two young kids, a son and a daughter. It's a story about this family and how they survive and interact in the face of this great catastrophe. Well, in one of the opening scenes of the movie, it's a horrific scene, and it's just so unsettling. I remember thinking, I'm not sure I would recommend this movie to my sisters who all have little kids, but so the family's out walking through the forest, being very, very quiet, kind of using slang language. The little boy, who's maybe, gosh, I don't know, 3, 4 years old, he finds in one of the stores, they're rummaging around and getting supplies, like a toy airplane that has battery powered, and he manages to get the batteries in there and holds up this little rocket ship, and it starts making these noises. And then the dad and the mom turn around. The mom just puts her hands over her mouth in absolute horror, and this little beauty of the little toy rocket ship means imminent death for this little boy. And the dad turns around and he just starts running barefoot, and realizes that one of the beasts is now coming out of the forest and is coming for the boy. And just before the dad can get there, the beast snatches up the boy, and he's gone. And of course, it's the end of the boy's life. That's how the movie opens. So it's just heart-wrenching stuff. And the pain in the mom and dad and their inability to protect their child from this beast, it is like a pall over the whole movie, and it's the same thing that threatens every single one of them for the rest of the movie. Here's what I think is so fascinating about that in terms of family life. Again, there's probably a million ways to interpret it. Here's one way to get at it. Just before the boy gets devoured by the beast, he draws on the ground, when he sees the rocket, a picture of a rocket. When he is moved by this little spaceship toy. And he says to his sister in sign language, "I know how we can get out of here. A rocket ship will blast us away." It's like the perpetual desire of the human heart, that of all the beasts that are threatening me internally, psychologically, spiritually, all the things that are threatening my family, everything that's threatening my country, everything that's threatening us geopolitically, I know what I'll do. I'll solve it through some external trick. Think of the Lord of the Rings, right? What is it? It's this ring. Oh, I've got this ring now, I'm going to be okay. Our own devices can't save us. I was thinking in my own life as a priest, how often in families, human ingenuity destroys families. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth, just think of alcoholism, right? We've created something, and now it's destroying families. How about different media addictions, right? Phone addictions. Why do they destroy families sometimes? Because it can kill the ability for the family to relate with one another. Our technologies, our human devices alone cannot save us. So, what actually saves the family? I'm fast forwarding to the very end of the movie now. One of the great tensions in the movie is the daughter is deaf, and the father is working hard to fix her hearing, because in a world where beasts kill you if you make a sound, if you can't hear, you're utterly vulnerable. So he's trying to figure out how to make a hearing aid to help his daughter survive. At the end of the movie, they find out that the hearing aids themselves actually create this major problem for the beasts, and it's hearing aids which render the beasts vulnerable. So at the end of the movie, the daughter turns up the sound on this hearing aid, puts it through a microphone, and then the mom can shoot it once it can be shot and killed. It's a great image of not how the technology saves the family, but how it's the weaknesses of the humans in their relationships with one another that actually overcome the evil. They don't run away from their problems. They don't blast off into outer space. With all of their brokennesses and weaknesses, they relate to one another. The father is relating to the daughter in her deafness, and she struggles with relating with the dad in her deafness. But part of the breakthrough for her character is she realizes that it was her deafness, her weakness, which allowed her father to manifest his love for her. Of course, in a Christian perspective, it's not hard to figure out sort of the Christian reality of that. It's Christ's weakness on the cross which redeems the whole world. I think in family life, it's so hard to do that. It takes so much vulnerability and so much grace. What is it in your family right now which you think is most threatening your family? Could it be that by pressing into whatever the personal weaknesses are in husband-wife relationships, in father-daughter relationships, in mother-son relationships, what are the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities there? The paradox is, by pressing into those weaknesses with love and honesty and gentleness and openness to the other, that we actually start to find ways of overcoming the things that really threaten us. There's a great line towards in the movie when the mother says, if we can't protect our children, if we can't protect them, then who are we? That's a good way to kind of read the whole movie. The point of life isn't to survive, it's for the family. And what's the purpose of the family? It's so that these human beings can love and can be in humanizing relationships. That's the point. In some ways, the saving of this family, it's such a beautiful image of why human life matters in the first place. So anyway, so check out A Quiet Place. I thought it was wonderful. I think I'm going to see it a second time. Maybe I'll recommend to my sisters that they see it once their kids are out of college. God bless you.